Hello folks and welcome everyone to the craziest, toughest and near to most impossible challenge I have decided to undertake in Hearts of Iron 4 with the Total War mod. Yes, I know that due to force majeure I had to revert back to my good old friend Balaboka, and that this may render difficult to follow due to the poor synchronization between the narration and the event happening in the episodes, but I hope you all will have mercy on me and be patient. Talking about some serious stuff. The idea of launching a crazy campaign with a fully motorized Wehrmacht arose quite some time ago, originally when I was playing my campaign with Japan and I realized the enormous potential offered by a small but battle-hardened corps of light and highly mobile troops. My hypothesis was confirmed once again during my second attempt with China and all the following campaigns. Motorized infantry divisions were to prove unstoppable in exploiting gaps amongst the enemy lines and overrunning any enemy unit trying to fall back after suffering a humiliating defeat. Given the industrial size of nations like China, Turkey, and Italy, as well as the lack of resources needed to build up and maintain a well-trained army, a corps of motorized and armored troops turned out to be exactly what was needed to guarantee swift victories for my armies. Still, the ease of all the previous campaigns was intrinsic in the nature of the wars themselves, as I never had to manage multiple fronts at the same time, an important condition which helped me in concentrating all the efforts along the front of interest. True, in my recent campaign with Italy, once I reclaimed the lost territories I had to divert all of my troops into Africa, as the magnitude of the theater of operations became so huge that my 13 motorized and 3 light armored divisions would have proven hardly adequate for the task. Furthermore, when dealing against the Soviet Union, one big advantage of the past campaigns was the fighting on the Eastern Front, as a consequence of which Germany and the other Axis nations diverted a significant amount of enemy troops. In both my attempts with Turkey and Italy, the enemy held only light defenses along the Caucasus front and my overwhelming armies backed up by a considerable air support always managed to break through, secure the oil fields of Baku, and establish a preliminary defensive line at the feet of the Caucasus. As some of you pointed out in the comments, the loss of the main source of fuel for the Soviet may have triggered the sudden collapse of the Red Army, as I do not think that the United States artificial intelligence ever sent additional fuel to the Soviet Union via the Lend-Lease program. Capitulating the Soviet Union eventually became a task as easy as a kid's play. Things will be however much different now. Not only this will be my very first attempt with my most favorite nation to play within Hearts of Iron 4, but the insanities of the challenge lie within the equipment's production system and the fuel mechanics, two important variables which would significantly hinder the development of a fully motorized Wehrmacht. Germany lacks sufficient quantities of oil and rubber, the two in-game most crucial resources required for the creation and maintenance of a fully motorized army. To make the game this whole campaign more interesting, besides choosing the hardest difficulty level, I also purposely did not boost Italy, as I wanted to challenge myself with the sending of an expeditionary force in North Africa, to mimic Rommel's Afrika Corps sent in early 1941. Needless to say, that fighting a motorized war on the Eastern Front proved to be challenging enough even for me, and I had to abandon Italy to her own fate. Already in 1936 I almost suffered a heart attack when the logistical report indicated that to fully equip my 58 infantry divisions deployed in the field I would have needed 72,941 lorries. Given in June 1936 a production rate of almost 19 units per day, I would have needed a total of roughly 38-40 days, an equivalent of more than 10 years, to achieve that goal. Crazy, right? Of course, prioritization of the motorized vehicles had to come with the sacrifice of other branches of the Wehrmacht, in particular the Kriegsmarine. If is there anything that I love about the Total War mod is that it really forces and pushes you to carefully plan your strategy, since the very first moment you start a new campaign, and this example illustrates very well my decision not to build anything else but convoys throughout the year preceding the hostilities. Yet, from this crazy challenge I had some ideas for some future campaigns with Germany, one in which I would like to transform the Third Reich into a threatening naval power, and a second one in which my plan is to focus on the development of a strong Luftwaffe, capable of devastating the enemy morale by pounding the enemy production centers with a large fleet of strategic bombers. Still, as I do not want to stress you too much with talks and ideas for future videos, I thank you very much for your support, and looking forward to receive your inputs on this crazy campaign. Take care and see you soon.